Well, Steve, before we get to last weekend's meet with Seattle University, let's talk about Christmas training. You guys
Sure.
came back to campus a week and a half before all the rest of the students came back. Got in some heavy training. Talk about what this team accomplished during that time.
Yeah, it was a great training camp. They came in, they basically flew back in day after Christmas, and then on the 27th we got started. And we were swimming twice a day and lifting weights, and the intensity was pretty high because we're getting close to a conference championship, and the volume was fairly high as well. Wanted to make sure with everybody coming in from break that if anybody had not been in the water as much as they needed to be, that we took care of the conditioning side of things. So we did, and they did a great job. I mean, they really band together and they worked hard. We went through about a week and a half period, and when we came to the end of it, they were tired. We had really put it in, and I was very proud of them because they aren't afraid to work hard, and swimming, that's kind of the culture of the sport a little bit. I mean, to have success, you've got to be willing to put in some early mornings and some long afternoons, and the team did that and did a phenomenal job. And now we go into the next 5-6 weeks, and it's a big tapering process, right? Like every week the volume will come down a little bit, and and we'll be swimming faster and faster as we go through the month. And I feel like the team really set the foundation for that and what they did in their training camp.
Talk also about how important it is and in what ways this team was able to bond and really build camaraderie over a time like that.
I think you do, because you're a little bit isolated, right? You don't have school to worry about, and there's not a lot of outside distractions. It's just the team with itself, and so we had a blast. I mean, they were. We took one night. We went sledding up on top of Mount Spokane, and we had another night where we had a team meal where everybody was together, and a lot of little inter squad things like that, where we had various competitions and things like that, and every day had a theme, right? And the team would get together and compete on whatever the theme was, whether it was the 80s or Disco Tuesday or whatever. And so we had a lot of fun in addition to the training. But when you have a focused amount of time like that, where it's nothing else but your teammates for a week or week and a half, and it's a challenge, you come together to kind of meet that challenge, and they did.
Speaking of challenge, this past weekend, a two-day dual meet against Seattle University, NCAA Division I.
Yeah.
Challenge in that there's not a lot of events out there to be won against a team like that. But what did you take away? What did this team accomplish during that meet against Seattle?
We talked about it before we went into the meet, about how good teams, they rise up to the competition that they face, and the best swimmers, they have some of their best swims when they're facing swimmers that are faster than them. It kind of elevates their game, and so I put it on them that's what I wanted to see going into this meet, and without exception I felt like they did that. They had a great attitude. They came to compete and race, and they raced hard, and it didn't matter whether they were winning or whether they were out in space on their own with nobody around them. I mean, to a person, I felt like they got after it and showed a lot of heart and character, and we won our share of events. I think out of the 22 events over the 2 days, we won a good number of them, and we weren't supposed to. So I felt like, coming off of a hard training camp where they were tired and not using that as an excuse to swim slow and swimming fast anyway, I was pretty proud of them.